The Galactic Academy of Xenobiology prided itself on being the pinnacle of scientific discovery in the known universe. Aliens from every corner of the galaxy studied here, from the glowing, translucent Slorpians of Sector Q19 to the towering, crystalline Croxians of the Andromedan cluster. But the arrival of one particular student had everyone whispering in hushed, disbelieving tones. A human, gasped Professor Flaz, a being composed entirely of gaseous filaments, as she floated into the staff lounge. Indeed, grumbled Dr. Glorvac T. Pendix, slamming a tentacled appendage on the conference table. The Board of Universal Sciences, in their infinite wisdom, decided we should embrace diversity. Bah! Humans are reckless, loud, and their biological unpredictability is off the charts, Flaz murmured, releasing a puff of condensation for emphasis. Exactly, Glorvac snapped. And now they've sent one of their own to pollute our esteemed institution. His lime-green skin shifted to a darker shade, a sure sign of rising blood pressure in his species. Mark my words, Flaz. This human will bring chaos. The automatic doors hissed open, cutting off further complaints. In walked Danika Rell, the first human ever admitted to the Galactic Academy. Short by alien standards, with a shock of untamed hair and an apologetic smile, she didn't exactly scream threat to galactic order. Yet, Glorvac narrowed his eyes. She was late. And worse, her backpack was moving. Apologies, Danika said, raising her hand sheepishly. I got lost. This place is huge, you know. Glorvac ignored her. His multifaceted eyes zeroed in on her backpack. Something inside it emitted a faint, rhythmic rumble. Explain yourself, human, he said, voice sharp as a plasma blade. What is in that bag? Danika froze. Oh, this. She unzipped the top of the bag, revealing a fluffy, black and white head with curious green eyes. This is Muffin. Glorvac's tendrils recoiled as though he'd been struck. You brought food to the academy. Danika blinked, confused. Food? No, Muffin's not food. She's my cat, my pet. Completely harmless, she reached into the bag, lifting Muffin out for everyone to see. The room erupted in chaos. Zerp, a gelatinous blob of an alien, emitted a high-pitched squeal that rattled the windows. A feathered avianoid fled the room, squawking about contamination. Glorvac's voice rose above the din. Security. Security. We have an unregistered terrestrial life form loose on campus. Danika cradled Muffin protectively. Hey, she's not unregistered, and she's my emotional support animal. Totally legal. Muffin, oblivious to the commotion, yawned and stretched. Then, with the grace of a predator and the mischief of a toddler, she leapt from Danika's arms and darted down the hallway. Contain that creature, Glorvac roared. The Galactic Academy of Xenobiology wasn't designed with cats in mind. Its sterile, gleaming halls were meant for scholarly discussions, not for feline antics. Yet, Muffin seemed determined to make herself at home. She's heading for the Holo-Library, someone shouted. Lock the doors. Seal the vents, Glorvac bellowed, sprinting after the creature on his spindly legs. Behind him, a team of security drones hovered, ready to deploy tranquilizer beams. Danika jogged after them, exasperated. She's not a threat, you know. She's just curious. Curious, Glorvac turned to glare at her. That curiosity of yours just entered one of the most restricted areas on campus. Sure enough, Muffin had slipped into the Holo-Library, a chamber lined with floating holograms of extinct species and ancient texts. As the aliens gathered at the entrance, they stared in horror at the sight before them. Muffin was batting at a hologram of the Eltaran thunderbeast, a creature known for its terrifying roar. The hologram, sensing interaction, began to roar on repeat, filling the room with deafening noise. Shut it off, Glorvac screamed, clutching his auditory sensors. Danika stifled a laugh as a technician scrambled to disable the system. Muffin, bored with the hologram, trotted out the opposite door, tail held high. After it, Glorvac yelled, shoving the technician aside. What followed was nothing short of a galactic spectacle. Muffin, seemingly energized by her new surroundings, explored the academy with unrelenting enthusiasm, her escapades included. Scaling a priceless sculpture of Zorbian ancestors, knocking off a ceremonial headpiece in the process. Accidentally activating an anti-gravity generator, causing several aliens to float helplessly in mid-air. Entering a kitchen and devouring a plate of Flobix caviar, which belonged to Corthel, a sarcastic Croxian student who remarked dryly, "Well, there goes my lunch. I hope the creature enjoyed its $12,000 snack." Danika, trailing behind the chaos, tried her best to contain the damage. Muffin. "Stop that. Down. No, bad cat." Corthel leaned against a wall, sipping his bright blue drink. "You know, I've seen species that can devour planets whole, but this is truly terrifying. How do you humans even survive?" Danika shot him a glare. "It's just a cat." By the time Muffin found her way into the Academy's central control hub, Glorvac was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. "Lock all doors," he screamed into his communicator. "Seal the perimeter. Deploy the containment units." "Containment units," Danika scoffed. "You're treating her like a fugitive. She's just playing." Glorvac's face turned a deep purple, the alien equivalent of a migraine. That play just caused a system-wide alert to activate. "She's a bioweapon in fur." Danika groaned. "You guys are unbelievable. You spend all this time studying other species, and you've never heard of cats. Your species is barbaric. Who keeps predatory organisms as companions?" "Literally billions of us," Danika shot back. "And Muffin's not predatory. She's just curious. Now, if you'd just let me." Before she could finish, Muffin pawed at a blinking red button, triggering the emergency evacuation protocol. Alarms blared across the campus. "That's it," Glorvac howled. "Call the Galactic Fleet. This is an act of war." Muffin's reign of terror continued for hours. The Academy's attempts to contain her were nothing short of comedic. Drones chased her through ventilation shafts, only for Muffin to emerge unscathed and covered in dust. Security officers attempted to corner her in the botanical gardens, only for Muffin to climb a tree and nap out of reach. Danika, armed with a laser pointer, finally decided to take matters into her own hands. "Muffin, look at the shiny dot. Come on, follow the shiny dot." To everyone's surprise, it worked. Muffin's eyes locked onto the laser with predatory focus, and she began to chase it. For 10 glorious minutes, Danika led Muffin through the halls, narrowly avoiding priceless artifacts and terrified aliens. Muffin's grand adventure ended in the Academy's sacred meditation chamber. There, amidst glowing crystals and tranquil music, she curled up on a ceremonial cushion and fell asleep. The gathered aliens stared in disbelief. "That's it?" Corthel asked. "She destroys half the campus and then takes a nap." Danika scooped Muffin up, cradling her like a baby. "Told you, she's harmless." Glorvac was not convinced. "This creature has caused more damage in one day than any species in recorded history." "Maybe you're just bad at handling mammals," Danika replied, smirking. The aftermath of Muffin's escapade left the Galactic Academy scrambling to recover both its dignity and its priceless artifacts. Reports of the incident spread rapidly across the intergalactic communication networks, sparking debates, memes, and even a few conspiracy theories. At an emergency council meeting, chaired by a visibly frazzled Dr. Glorvac T. Pendix, a list of new regulations was presented for immediate implementation. 1. No terrestrial animals allowed on campus. "I don't care if it's a goldfish," Glorvac yelled. "Humans will bring chaos in any form." 2. Mandatory species-specific orientation for humans. To prevent more misunderstandings about what constitutes a bioweapon, he added bitterly. 3. Enhanced security protocols for small, agile creatures. This includes vent covers, laser-triggered traps, and just-to-be-safe motion detectors keyed to feline body types. Danika, seated at the back of the room with Muffin perched smugly on her lap, couldn't help but stifle a laugh. "You're writing an entire handbook because of one cat." Glorvac slammed a tentacle on the table. "One cat that wreaked havoc on our esteemed institution. Your Muffin triggered alarms, destroyed priceless artifacts, and ate my assistant's lunch." He gestured wildly toward Corthel, who raised a clawed hand. "To be fair," Corthel said, smirking, "I was overcharging the Academy for that caviar anyway." Glorvac groaned, his lime-green skin darkening to a deep, frustrated hue. "This is not a joke. The galactic scientific community will laugh at us for decades." Danika leaned back in her chair, scratching Muffin under her chin. The cat purred loudly, as if to mock Glorvak even further. "You're overthinking this, Glorvak. Muffin didn't destroy your academy. Your academy wasn't prepared for Muffin." The council erupted into murmurs, some of them hesitant agreements, others sharp objections. Glorvak sputtered, flailing his tentacles. "Prepared." For this he pointed accusingly at Muffin, who yawned, revealing tiny, sharp teeth. "She's clearly a predator of the highest order." Danika stood, Muffin cradled in her arms. Her tone shifted from playful to firm, and the council chamber quieted. "Look," she began, "I get it. Muffin caused some chaos. But you all need to understand something about humans. We're messy, we're curious. And yes, sometimes we bring our pets where they probably shouldn't be." She held Muffin up for the council to see, the cat's emerald eyes scanning the room with feline indifference. "But this? This isn't a bioweapon. This is a companion. A friend. Humans keep cats because they remind us to slow down, to laugh, to let go of perfection. Muffin didn't come here to destroy anything. She just wanted to explore. And honestly, isn't exploration what the Galactic Academy is all about?" For a moment the room was silent. Then Korthel raised his glass. "I'll drink to that." Glorvak scowled. "We are not toasting this debacle." Korthel leaned back in his seat, his crystalline skin catching the light. "Oh, come on, Glorvak. Admit it. This was the most excitement this academy's seen in decades." Despite Glorvak's protests, the council voted to allow Danika to remain at the academy with strict stipulations. Muffin was officially banned from entering any restricted zones, though a few students secretly started a Muffin fan club sharing holo photos of her escapades. Muffin's fame spread far beyond the academy. The incident was picked up by the Galactic News Network, with headlines like, "Terrifying Earth creature wreaks havoc at prestigious academy, and it's adorable. Muffin hero, menace, or both." Social media across multiple planets exploded with memes of Muffin knocking over alien artifacts, captioned with phrases like, "Galactic conqueror in training and bow before the furry overlord." Back on Earth, humans were ecstatic. "This is why we're amazing," one viral commentator proclaimed. "Even our house pets can dominate galactic institutions." True to his word, Dr. Glorvak published an exhaustive 200-page report titled "Humanity: A Threat to Galactic Stability," and their feline allies. The report included detailed accounts of Muffin's attacks on academy infrastructure, complete with grainy surveillance footage of her batting at glowing orbs and curling up on ceremonial cushions. Danika found the report hilarious. She printed a copy, framed it, and hung it above her desk. A few weeks after the incident, Korthel approached Danika during lunch. Muffin was perched on her shoulder, as always, surveying the cafeteria like a queen. "You know," Korthel said, "you could make a fortune turning Muffin into a galactic celebrity." Danika laughed. "You mean like an influencer?" "Exactly. I can see it now. Muffin, the intergalactic explorer, tips on conquering alien worlds. I'll even manage her contracts for a modest fee, of course." Danika rolled her eyes but couldn't hide her grin. "You're incorrigible." Despite Glorvak's objections, the student body voted overwhelmingly to adopt Muffin as the unofficial mascot of the academy. A life-sized hologram of her was installed in the main hall, her playful pounce frozen in midair. Beneath it, a plaque read, "In honor of exploration, curiosity, and the chaos that comes with it." Glorvak avoided the hologram at all costs. Months later, Danika sat in her dorm, watching Muffin bat lazily at a holographic butterfly. Korthel lounged on a nearby chair, sipping his bright blue drink. "You know," he said, "one day, when you're famous, people will say it all started here. With Muffin." Danika smirked. "Muffin's already more famous than I'll ever be." As if on cue, Muffin leapt onto the console, triggering a notification on the holo screen. It was an incoming message from the Galactic Zoological Society. "Dear MS. Rell," it read, "we would like to nominate your cat, Muffin, for our annual Galactic Pet of the Year award." Danika laughed, shaking her head. "Well, Muffin," she said, scratching her companion's ears, "looks like you're taking over the galaxy after all." Muffin purred contentedly, as if to say, "Of course I am."